I want to talk briefly about the constitutional violation that Donald Trump is about to begin the day he takes office. He's basically told us all that the next president of the United States is going to walk into office with hundreds of millions of dollars of debt to the Chinese government. That's via the Bank of China, which his holdings owe over $900 million in debt to. This is a national security risk and a foreign bribery risk, the likes of which we really haven't seen in this country, this deep conflict. And if you go back to the Constitutional Convention, you'll see that the founders were fundamentally concerned about the amount of money that at the time France, England, other governments, foreign governments would spend to influence American policy regarding war and peace and American trade policy. Right now, we have a future president who is threatening to be vulnerable to foreign manipulation on questions of war and peace and questions of trade. If you think that foreign governments aren't going to look at the Trump empire as an extraordinary opportunity to try to manipulate American trade policy and American military policy, you've got another thing coming to you. American policy is so important in the world that you are going to see countries around the world using state-run companies to try to influence our military policy and our trade policy. And we know that Trump's vulnerable to this kind of pressure because, as we know, he does not like to be called a loser. So if his companies are doing badly, you'll see debtors rushing in to try to find opportunities to influence policy. That's going to undermine the integrity of the policy decisions that we make. So just to give you a sense of the seriousness of this foreign bribery or emoluments clause, around the time of the Constitution, Edmund Randolph at the Virginia debates said that one of the reasons, when people were asking about when there might be an impeachment, he said, well, one of the reasons might be if a president was violating the emoluments clause, because it's breaking a fundamental trust. We haven't had a crisis like this before because for over 200 years, presidents haven't even walked up to the line of crossing this basic foreign bribery clause. Both Richard Painter, the ethics lawyer for George Bush, and Norm Eisen, the ethics lawyer for President Obama, have spoken out saying that no recent president would even come close to this. So we've got a national security risk, we've got a domestic corruption risk, and we've got a risk of a constitutional violation. 400,000 people have spoken out, and you're going to see millions more speaking out, because this is not a partisan question. It's not a Democratic question. It's not a Republican question. It's a fundamental question of patriotism and the responsibility of a president to put the interests of the American people first, not his business interests. Thank you.